And now, Journey to Success with Pete Asmus. Tonight, mindset to action steps and everything in between. We are about you, focusing on what you need to get to that next level. So get ready, get excited, because we are about to get started. From coast to coast, your host, Pete, the visionary pitbull, Asmus.
All right. Hey, welcome everybody. Today is May 31st, 2015. If you can believe that. We're almost to the halfway mark of 2015. This is episode 94, if you can believe that. Episode 94 that we've been doing this, and I'm blown away. We're almost to episode 100, just another 6 of them, and we'll be there basically right around when my son is born. I'll be doing the 100th episode of this series. This is Get the Winning Edge, part of the Journey to Success series, and I'm glad you guys are here. My name is Pete Asmus. I'm going to be the host tonight, and we're going to be talking all about how to focus on your outcome to increase your income, right? And you know, it's kind of funny. What I mean by that is really focusing on where you want to be, right? Focusing on what you want out of life and going out, and we're going to talk about different ways to actually go out there and make that happen, to go out there and create the kind of world and the kind of environment that you actually want to be in. And we're going to talk about some of the different things that could be obstacles for you, and some of the things that you perceive as obstacles that are actually really there to help you and to create within you the person that you've always wanted to be. The reality is, if we were handed something, it wouldn't be as valuable. You look at the lottery winners and you see what happens to them within 2 to 3 years, and their lives go just completely, they're destroyed. Their concept of how to make money is gone. They can't work a normal job anymore, right? They just made $40, $50 million or $20 million off of scratching a ticket. And so everything that they think about the world is now different, right? And this series, what we do every Sunday night, is really about helping you set up your life to get out of your life what you want, to really make you the lottery winner in your own life, right? I don't mean we're going to give you anything, because by God, that's not going to happen. You're going to earn every single thing that you get. But the cool part is that when you do, nobody can take it away from you. One of the very first things I learned really growing up was that the key to knowledge wasn't about learning something. It was about applying it. It was about understanding that when I learned it, nobody could take it away from me. Knowledge is the one thing that you can learn and you can keep, and it cannot be taken. Money, that can come and go. Objects can come and go. People, for that matter, can come and go. But your knowledge, that is going to stay and be sustainable as long as you do what? As long as you keep engaging in that information, right? And what I mean by that is this. Look, we all knew, if you go back to math, some of the higher forms of math, well, when we were doing it all the time, well, we understood it, right? But now you go back and you try and do somebody's theory or Pythagorean theory or something like that, right? And I can't even say it, right? Let alone do I know what it is, or could I apply it? And so I think that it's important to understand that as great as knowledge is, if you're not engaging in it all the time, then it really is going to start to fade away, right? Whatever's not being used is going to be kind of brushed away, and you're going to make room for something more. Tonight, I want to talk about living a solution-driven life, really focused on what can you do to create that life that you want, all right? And the very first thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to live a solution-based life. You're going to start to make decisions that are solution-based thinking, right? Or you're going to start to think like solution-based thinking. And what I mean by that is this. A lot of times when something happens, we freak out. We go into shutdown mode. We go into defense mode. We go into what can I do to save where I am, right? And we start kind of losing our mind. And the reason is because we're focused on the challenge that we're being presented with. We're focused on the problem that's in front of us. We're not focused on how to solve it. We're not focused on what can we do to create the opportunity that we want, right? And what I mean by that is this. If I were to tell you, hey, I have this amazing opportunity, right? For instance, I had a property last week that was, I think it was 91,000. The return on it was insane. Like literally, it was somewhere in the 30s or 40s on return, and it was a great product, right? But if nobody takes action on the opportunity, they don't get the results of the opportunity. So many times we look back and go, man, I wish I would have. 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 Don't wish anymore. Start taking action. If you see an opportunity like that, you don't run away. You start asking more questions. If you're in the position to take advantage of that, it should be, well, hey, how do I know it's a good deal? Great question. Let me answer that. How do I know this? How do I know that? Great questions. Let us answer them. But if you don't ask questions, if you don't see what you can do, if you don't go, okay, look, so what I really need is, I don't need 100,000. I only need 20,000 plus whatever the rehab would be. So I really needed, I don't know, 47,000, or let's just say that number, right? Well, that changes from 130 to 40,000. And when you look at it like that and you start going, okay, well, all I need is 40,000. Who do I know that I could create this opportunity with? And then you start to think about other people that you know. And maybe you have to put together 3 people. Maybe it's 3 different people that you know that equal $40,000. But if that gets you into a deal, and that gets you to generate 5% or 10% of the profit of that deal, man, how is that not a winning situation? And let me tell you, if you bring people an opportunity, they don't run away when you come with another opportunity, especially if their experience with it was positive. They're going to keep coming back. That's how we've grown the Gentry Group. I mean, all of you guys that have known me, that I've for years, right? Even if we go back to when I started the Journey to Success calls, very seldom did I ever start pushing out checks until, 2-3 months ago, because that's when all of these systems have started working out. So at the beginning of this year, when I was pulling different investors in to these projects, now you're starting to see the results of those projects. Now we're at month 5, right? I mean, they're 4-month projects. I started showing checks, about a month ago probably, because that's when these deals started hitting. That's when all of the projects that we were getting involved in the beginning of the year, they're now starting to fulfill out. You have to take action. You have to find a way to take action. Even if you don't have the solution, even if you don't have the resources, the reality is a lot of times we don't want to devote 100% of our efforts into things, right? Because if we devote 100% of our effort into it and then it doesn't work out, well, now we are this or we're that, and we're afraid of humiliation. We're afraid of being embarrassed. We're afraid of being wrong. We're afraid of failure. We're afraid of so many things instead of being afraid not to try. Instead of being afraid not to go after it. Being afraid not to give everything that you have. Being afraid that you could have had everything you wanted, but you just gave up. That's what you need to be afraid of. Don't be afraid of what's possible. Be afraid of what's not possible. Because there's nothing that's possible if you don't do anything. Nothing is possible if you don't take action. Nothing is possible if you don't go after your dream, if you don't give yourself, if you don't trade something for what you want. That could be action, that could be money, that could be time, that could be effort, that could be knowledge, that could be a ton of different things. But the reality is, you have to go after it. You have to take the action. Like my daughters say, right? I can work out all I want, but you're never going to get the results until you work out with me. I can read this entire book for you, but you're not going to know the answers to the questions unless you read the book as well. You have to take the action to fulfill the result. You just have to. So, what do you want to take action with this week? I'd love to hear that and have responses. What do you want to take action with? Where do you see yourself moving to? When I was looking at the name of this book, it started off with, and you know, anybody that's been around for any amount of time, it was questions are the key to unlocking your reality forever. But the reality of that whole thing, right, if I want to keep using the word reality, the reality of it is the questions are a leverage point. They're not necessarily the key, because from the questions you're going to derive the key, right? The questions are the leverage point, the access from which you will get the information you need. Think about if you were interrogating somebody, right? If you don't ask the interrogation, during the interrogation, if you don't ask the right questions, you're not going to get the right answers, right? If you are looking for a murder suspect and you say, so, what color shirt was the last person in here wearing? That's not going to be really the right question to get the right response that you need, right? But a lot of times, that's what we do. We don't want to ask the hard questions. We don't want to ask, where were you last night? What were you doing? Did you murder your friend? Whatever, right? We don't want to ask those questions. And I'm not sure if it's because we're afraid of the answers or if we're afraid of the confrontation. But we're afraid of something. And here's the biggest thing. When you can move past the fear, when you can create and get over the obstacle of fear, anything is possible. When you can overcome fear, anything is possible. Fear is what stops you from doing everything. Fear is what stops you from being a solution-based thinker. Because you're afraid, well, what if my solutions are wrong? Well, what if what I think isn't da-da-da-da-da-da? And you're going to go through all these things. And guess what? The best person, the expert in whatever field you want to do, when they first started, they were in the same position as you. They didn't know the answers. They got the answers because they experienced things. They went out, took action, and from the action, they got results. Some results were great. Some results weren't so great. But the reality was they kept taking action and they kept getting results until they could compile all of the results together to make an opportunity or to make a decision or to make to have a better understanding of what they were doing, right? All these results that come in, Thomas Edison 10,000 times to create a light bulb, right? You're talking about the Colonel Sanders. I think it was something like 1,100 times before he got a yes. If you have enough tenacity, a lot of times you can create movement. But if your idea isn't great, if your reason for doing it isn't superb, you're not going to succeed. Because hard work alone does not make success. Hard work alone will get you to a point where you're comfortable. Look, I guarantee that will happen. But it doesn't mean that you're going to be ultra successful just from hard work. To be ultra successful, and I'm not there. I want to be there. I'm still looking for my golden goose. I'm still looking for that opportunity. And who knows? Who knows if I'll ever really, truly get where I want to be? But I'm going to keep aiming as high as I possibly can so that I never reach it. Because I don't want to reach my destination. I don't want to reach my goal. The journey is half the goal. Going through what we're going through, creating that person within you, becoming the person that I am. I'm starting to get excited. I don't freak out about stress anymore. I'm excited about it because you know what? When I'm under pressure, I realize I can be better. I can be more creative. I can create a better solution. It was from me being under pressure that I created the ultimate turnkey system. I mean, man, what I have done is insane. And on Tuesday, we're going to be going over that. I'm way excited about that webinar. Tuesday at 4 p.m. If you want to check it out, all you got to do is go to ourfreewebinar.com. And I think I have actually right there. Funny, it's leading right into it. So our free webinar, it's going to be talking about off-market property. And really what I'm going to be talking about is I just had an event last weekend where we had everybody come out. Everybody there got properties. So it was a huge success. I have testimonial videos. It's incredible. And I'm excited to share what I'm talking about because I even created some flow charts and some things that will help everybody understand what we're doing better. So I'm excited about that. That you can check out at ourfreewebinar.com, like I said, right there. Whoa. What's going on there? There we go. And then I have a book here that you guys can check out for all of you that are interested in real estate, Off-Market Property Blueprint. You can go to offmarketpropertyblueprint.com and get that book as well. We've got Investor Quarterly. This is next week's issue. I'm just going to wrap up a few things real quick and we'll move on. Investor Quarterly this week is about IRAs, and we're going to be talking with Karen Hall, and we're going to be, her article in there is amazing. I've got an article in there about adversity and how to really create pain and make pain your friend, and how to, and we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight too, but great issue that's coming out. Make sure you register or you subscribe for that. And then Inspire 360 magazine, we're gonna be putting that out in about a month as well. So look for that. Gentry is the key. This is the book we're talking about in this series, is the question factor. So understand that. That book is almost ready to be published as well. I've already had the final edit going. I just locked down the I just got the cover. So now all I've got to do is go have it formatted, which I'll be working on next week. And as I get it formatted, boom, the ebook will be ready to go. And then I'm going to have the printed book ready probably within the next month or two as well. So excited about a lot of things that are happening. But here's what really needs to happen. And this is something that it's crazy, because I take it day by day. It's all about shattering who we are for who we want to become, right? It's about making decisions based on where we want to be, not making decisions based on where we've been or what we've become. And we do that a lot. We go, well, I can't go there because in the past, I can't go there because I don't have, I can't go there because, and it always has to do with where we are or where we want to become, or what we've become. It has nothing to do with, well, I can't go there because I don't want to go there. Because that's usually never it. It's not that we don't want to go there. We just aren't seeing the way to make it make sense. We're not seeing the opportunity in there. And what I'm telling you to do is start shattering who you are for who you want to become. Start seeing the opportunities for what they are. Start realizing that, hey, NFL football might not be your ticket this year. If you want to be at the Super Bowl next year, maybe you skip all of the games this year. Maybe this year you work instead. You build a system. You build something concrete that you can retire on. You create the opportunity for you. But I'm going to tell you right now, until you start focusing on where you want to be, until you focus on that outcome and start making decisions based on where you want to be, you're not going to get there. Because everything is always going to come in front of you. There's always going to be an excuse. There's always going to be a reason you can't get there. And look, I don't care what you call them. You can call them excuses. You can say, no, Pete, these are legitimate reasons. My wife left me. This happened. Great. I get it. Everybody has an excuse. And everybody's excuse is legitimate. Yeah, but Pete, you don't get it. Like, my wife left me. I get it. My son had cancer. My daughter has alopecia. I was homeless. I mean, we could do this all day long. Let's go back and forth. I mean, who cares? Who cares that I was homeless when I was 16? That doesn't matter now. I'm not 16 anymore. I'm not there. So I'm not going to make decisions based on what that child would have made. Right? I'm not homeless. I have a home. I have a beautiful family. And I love who I am now more than ever. So I'm willing to keep shattering who I am. And let me tell you, every day it's a struggle. Every day. Every day I have challenging moments where it's like, man, and I have to go, right? Woosah. I've got to woosah. I've got to relax. I've got to chill. I've got to think about what my outcome is. What do I want my outcome to be? Do I want to be dragging somebody out in the street and fighting them? Or do I want to be having a great time and getting done what I need done? Because sometimes our actions don't really, speak too highly of where we really want to go. Because we wouldn't be treating people the way that we treat them if we wanted to have that great relationship at the end, right? We wouldn't light them up. We'd lift them up. But a lot of times we let ourselves get in the way. We let our egos get in the way. We let our attitudes get in the way. We let our emotions get in the way. And we start treating people poorly. And then we wonder why we aren't where we want to be. Well, yeah, but yesterday I had this happen, and yesterday you know what? Everybody has crap happen to them all the time. And guess what? Nobody cares what happens to you. Just realize that. Nobody cares. So stop looking around for somebody else to come and pick you up. It's time for you to reach down, pull up those bootstraps, and pick yourself up. Expect nothing. Expect nothing. And I mean that. I mean, expect nothing and accept everything. Accept that, hey, look, they didn't do it. Okay, I'm going to have to do it. Because getting mad and getting frustrated and freaking out about it and yelling and da-da-da, all of a sudden you eat up all this time and you're still no closer to where you wanted to be. Again, because you're not focused on the outcome. You're focused on where you are. You're focused on the fight. And I'm saying, forget the fight. Focus on the future. All right? Don't worry about what's happening right now. Let the ego go. Let the challenges go. And focus on where you want to be. Who you want to be with. You know, we all typically have somebody that we care about, right? That we love. Yet we will light that person up worse than anybody else. We will treat that person horribly. Because, well, they're not going to go anywhere, right? It's like a dog. You can kick the dog. Dog's not going anywhere. And I'm saying, you don't have to live your life like that. Like, live your life like everything's amazing. Treat people the way you truly want to be treated, because I guarantee you, you don't want to be yelled at. You don't want to be cussed at. You don't want to be talked down to. You don't want to be belittled. You don't want to be demeaned. You don't want any of that. But we tend to do that to other people, right? And look, I'm saying I do it too. I'm not in any way saying, I'm not pointing a finger. If anybody, I'm pointing a finger at me. And I'm just sharing with you guys the struggles that I go through, the challenges that I go through. And I'm hoping that something out of these things are going to help you create a better life for you. One of the things that I started doing was I started really scheduling my time. I mean, crazy scheduling my time. Like, my whole entire calendar now is scheduled down to the half hour. And I have breaks in between, but I've made it so my life is scheduled. Because if I don't plan for success, I'm planning for failure. If you don't, look, it goes back to the goals. If you don't know where you want to go, how are you going to get there? If you don't know how you're getting there, how do you expect it to happen? Well, I know where I want to go, so that's it. I'm done. Wait a second. That's not true. Just because you know where you want to go, look, you know you want a Ferrari. Great. Is there a Ferrari in your front door? No. Because you haven't taken the right action to get to it, right? So it's about knowing, okay, well, what action are you taking? Well, Pete, man, I'm doing so much during the week. Really? Well, what are you doing? Well, you know, I mean, I've got to work and I've got this. Okay. Well, so how much time are you spending on your business, on what you want to do, on your, you know, truly your career, right? Investing or whatever it may be. And it may be a different job. It may be moving up in your company. I don't care. Entrepreneurship, whatever it is. And you go, well, you know, I mean, like, whenever I have a free moment, like, I do it then. Okay, well, how much are those free moments, and how much time have you actually put towards it? Well, I mean, I don't know. Okay. So if you really want it that bad, wouldn't that be something that you wanted to know? How much money is in your account? I don't know. Okay. So you're really not paying attention to anything, right? It's time to wake up. It's time to start focusing on what do you want. Look, if we start scheduling our time, okay, I'm going to be at work from 8 to 5, all right? From 5 to 5:30, I'm going to be driving home. That's how long it takes. At 5:30, when I get home, I'm going to take a 15-minute, 20-minute break. 6 o'clock, I'm going to start. I'm going to do an hour worth of XYZ, right? I'm going to do an hour worth of research or whatever. I'm going to watch a webinar. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to apply this, okay? And you're like, well, yeah, but man, I'm going to schedule my life out so much, I don't have any time for spontaneity. Great, make Sundays spontaneity. Don't plan out any Sundays. Make those your days you do whatever you want. But plan everything else out. If you do not plan to succeed, I promise you, something else will always come and get in the way. Always, 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 always. Well, no, I mean, I have free Friday. Okay, have you ever had a free day? And I'm talking about, you know, I guess if you're 12 and you're listening right now, you could go, well, yeah, I have free days and I don't do anything. I just eat and I eat candy. Okay, great. Well, I'm not speaking to you at this point. But I know I don't have any free days. Even if I have nothing planned for this week, I promise you I will not be on the couch eating bonbons, watching TV all week. Won't happen. I will be slam busy. I will fill my time with, keyword, something. The question is that something the right thing? Is that something going to get you where you want to go? Or is that something going to be putting you, and you're going to the left, now you're going to the right, now you're going forward, now you're going backward, right? And you're just sitting there doing these big, you're You put your right arm in, you put your right arm out, right? To doing the hokey pokey. That's all you're doing. Because you don't know what you want. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know how you're applying to get there. Man, you spend 20 minutes doing this, an hour over here, 2 hours over there, but you don't really know, and it doesn't all correlate, right? One thing is so that you can have this logo for something, and the other thing is so that you can do something over here with friends or whatever. There are like all these random things that you're doing, and great, you've wanted to do them for a long time, but they don't all go in the same direction, which means you're spending so much time moving back and forth, you're not being effective. And when you start scheduling your time, you're going to start seeing the holes in your air, or the errors in your way, right? You're going to start seeing, man, it doesn't really make sense what I'm doing. I gotta start ironing this out. I gotta make this more efficient. But there's no way to do that if you don't really look at your life, if you don't really look at what you're doing. And I'm just showing you ways to become more effective. I'm giving you AI, actionable information. This is stuff that you should be taking action with. Schedule out your week. There's a place called Schedule Once, okay? Schedule Once. I use it. You can have people set up appointments with you, and you can literally schedule your day down to the 15-minute mark. If you want to change your life, if you want more out of your life, then it's time to become the version of you 2.0. It's time to step up. It's time to improve your life, and it's time to get situated, get scheduled, get organized. Create a path for you to take. Don't just drift around. Don't wander around in the dark. It's time to start turning on lights and start seeing what you actually have and what you want to do and applying it, making it happen, all right? So the question factor, that's the book that we're going over right now, right? And here it is. We talked about what is communication, right? Because I think that's a big thing. There's different variances of communication, from verbal, nonverbal. You've got implied. You've got all kinds of different things. However, when it comes down to it, the most effective, the most motivating, the most decision-making type of communication is verbal, because we talk to ourselves all the time, thousands of times a day. And the way that we talk to ourselves determines what we feel like we're capable of. The way that we talk to ourselves, look, we may be slamming ourselves left and right, or we may be lifting ourselves up. We may be telling ourselves, I can do anything, I can do anything, I can do anything. Or we're saying, why does this always happen to me? Why does this always happen to me? How come I always fail? Why do I always get... And look, I've done both. And let me tell you, the why do I always fail thing does not get you where you want to go. But it's really difficult sometimes to get in that positive mood, to get in that positive motivation, that positive space going, anything is possible. The only way you're going to get there is for you to really believe. And when I say really believe, I mean believe. And you're like, well, okay, but how do I really believe? I mean, I don't know. How do I believe? I believe in the children, our future. No, I believe. But typically, you don't. You're saying it, you're saying I believe, but you really don't. When I first started saying I want to inspire the world, right, it was so weird to say. It was so uncomfortable to say. And in fact, I think a year ago or a year and a half ago, I have one of these webinars where I said the exact same thing. I was like, it just feels really odd to say. It just feels awkward to say, because I've never said it before and nobody's ever heard it from me before. And what are people going to think about me when I say it? Are they going to think, oh yeah, whatever? I mean, all these weird things are going through my head. And it wasn't until I stopped caring what everybody else thought and I started focusing on what I wanted. And then I started hearing Madison yell it out at him. You know, we're going to inspire the world around you. And now today when I said it, I mean, my girls are taking on all of these things. From 3 years old, Madison has been doing videos. It's just crazy for me to think about. I mean, Gracelyn is almost now at the age where Madison was when we started, which again just baffles me, right? And Gracelyn's been on TV or on video ever since she was born. It's the first day she was born I had her and we did a video together. And I plan on having my son will be the same way. I want to change the world for them. I want them to know everything is possible. I don't want them to be 30 or 40 and I have to rewrap their brain and explain to them what life is really truly about, right? And nobody did that for me. So I get that. I get that it isn't common. But it's time for us to take uncommon methods to make common results, or to get common results, right? To get what we want, what most people want. And so we talk about communication because communication is huge. You know, what you feel you can do and the way that you talk to yourself determines what you can do. It determines what you will get. It determines how you feel, right? And I mean that because, look, somebody that's mad and upset and angry and pissed off all the time, they're no fun to be around. They are not attracting a ton of opportunities. If you want to attract opportunities, be like honey, right? Be sweet. Never go stale. I don't know if you can do that, but hey, you know, it's worth a try, right? Do what you need to do, but tell yourself every day how amazing you are, because you are. One of the things we used today is say, I am awesome. I am awesome. And when you say that and you hear me say that, you're saying it, you're repeating it with yourself in your brain. You're saying it with yourself, under your breath, whatever. But we talk out loud in our heads. I do. I know you do. And when I say, I am awesome, you're repeating it with me. And you're saying that you're awesome. And the reality is you are awesome. You are amazing in so many ways. Are you focusing on the ways that you're amazing? Or are you focusing on the ways that you're coming up short in the world or in your personal life or in relationships? Typically, we're going to start focusing on what we're not getting. And then what happens? We get a whole bunch more of that. Instead of focusing on what we are getting, focusing on what we want and getting a lot more of that. I can tell you over and over and over again, you get what you focus on, and you'll still get off this and go, man, I wish I had the life Pete have. I wish my life was different. I wish this, I wish that. And it's all about negative consequence or negative aspects of looking at it. Instead of saying, my life will be like that. I'm going to do everything I can to make my life, not like Pete's, but like I want mine to be. Because my dreams and hopes and aspirations are different than yours. And we're not in a race together. Look, I may be on chapter 15. You may be on chapter 1. There is no reason that you need to feel like you're competing with me. And believe me, there are other people on chapter 50, and they're half the age of me, and they're way ahead of me. I can't get upset at that. I can't get mad at that. I can't say, well, that's not fair. I wish my life would have been different. Hey, look, I can wish all I want, but until I do, nothing is going to happen. You can wish all you want, but until you do something about it, nothing will happen. You'll sit there, you'll complain, you'll wish your life was different, and you'll dream about all the things that you want, but you'll never actually do anything. And the reason is, and I love this is out of Tomorrowland, so I'm not stealing from them but it was brilliant. I loved the line. The reality is the future that you've decided to have takes zero effort out of you right now. That's why you are where you are. Because you're not willing to give up more right now to get a different future. The future you have, the one where you're just working for somebody else and this and that and this and that, it requires zero effort from you right now. You don't have to change your life in any way. You just keep going down the same path and you keep getting what you want, or you keep getting what you're getting. The difference is you're saying you don't want what you're getting. Well, if you don't want what you're getting right now, you need to change what you're doing. You've got to change the input to get a different output. You can't keep going. 1 + 1 is 2. 1 + 1 is 2. I just don't get it, man. When is 1 + 1 going to equal 4? It's not. It's not going to equal 4 until it's not 1 + 1, until it's 1 + 3, or it's 2 + 2. Then it will equal 4. But so many of us keep hitting 1 + 1, 1 + 1, 1 + 1, 1 + 1. I don't get it. I don't get it. What's happening, Pete? I don't get it. I keep hitting 1 + 1. It's not going anywhere. Right. But what do you really want to do? Are you willing to create something more? Or do you want to to cry about it? Do you want to be frustrated about it? Do you want to wish your life was different? Are you going to start really believing that, I don't know, are you going to start believing that? Are you going to start believing and having your own anthem, saying, something you could even say, I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. Right? Tell everybody, I'm the man. Tell them. I'm going to tell them all. Because everything you want to do is there. Everything that you want to be is within you. The difference is, are you going to make a difference to go and make it happen? Are you going to get up and go and grab your life? Take your life. Or are you going to sit there and say, how come it's not given to me? How come I still don't have it? Why aren't people giving me what I need? And are you going to be a victim? Are you going to be a cheerleader? Are you going to cheer on somebody else's dreams? Or are you going to quarterback your own life? Which one are you going to be? Because you don't get to be both. There is no such thing as a cheerleading quarterback. You either get to quarterback your life or you get to be the support system for somebody else that does. Your life is your life. And the only person that has the power to create what you want is you. You. That's it. Nobody else can give you or create for you what you want. They can come close. They're never going to get it. So understand that when you talk to yourself, when you focus on yourself, when you go after your dreams, when you start believing that you're the hero of your movie, that's when things are going to start changing. Because you are. You're the hero. All right? Now, tonight we're going to talk about, living a solution-driven life. All right? Conscious depiction of what you want your life to look like. So we talk about vision boards, right? You should have a vision board. You should go, and they are super cheap. All you got to do is go to Michael's or something and go grab poster board, grab a big giant poster board, right? And on that poster board like that, on that poster board, all you got to do is put down, go and look through magazines. You can go and online get pictures and print them out and put them on the board so that you can start to see different things that you want over and over again. Again, what we focus on, we get, right? So don't put a prison on there because you don't want to go to prison, right? You want to live by the beach or live in the mountains or do this or skydive or have a Bentley or, whatever it is. Put that on your vision board. Have fun with it. Believe in it. Understand that, look, the clearer you define what you want, the easier it is to get. Simple. The clearer you define what you want, the more simplified it is to attain it. That's because if I say, hey, can you go get really cool stuff? You're going to look at me like, yeah, but what do you mean? I mean, cool to who, right? And you might bring back something that's cool to you, but I'm like, I don't like that. That's not cool to me. But if I say, hey, can you go get a Porsche 911, right? You may go, man, that is cool. Absolutely. I think that's cool too. Let's go get one of those and bring it back. Now I've defined for you what I want. But a lot of you go around, you're like, I just want to be rich. I want to have everything I want. I want to be this. I want to be that. But there's no really structure to it. It's not defined. It's not any kind of conscious thing, right? It's just whatever you see, you want. Ping, oh, I want that. Oh, I want that. Oh, I want that. I'm saying define it. Structure it. Make it yours, all right? Now, next thing, turning shoulds into musts, all right? We all know that we should do this, we should do that, we should do this, we should do that. Tony Robbins says stop shoulding all over yourself because that's exactly what you're doing. If you know that you should do it, then don't say I should do that. I must. I must do that. And turn it into an obscenity. Turn it into an obsession that you have to get that done. I promise you, if you start obsessing over all these little things that will create success for you, it's going to be really weird how that just all of a sudden happens. When they talked about, well, I don't get it. So what you're saying is I just have to write down what I want, and then I go and I apply things to make that happen, and then I get what I want. Yes. You mean like I want to get a car, and then I write, I want to get a Honda CRX. I don't know what a Honda. I don't know cars right now. Okay, let's just go back to, I want to get a Porsche Cayenne. All right, cool, Porsche Cayenne. I know how much that costs. Excellent. That's what I want. And then I'm going to write down Well, there's a dealership here and a dealership there, and I know those dealerships. Yep, you could go and talk to them. And you make a call, and you got a guy now, and you put that guy's name down, and all of a sudden you're making this list of what you need to do to accomplish that goal. And then you follow the list, and you get it, and you're like, well, that's not very impressive. It isn't. It's just effective. I'm not saying that the key to success is impressive. It's not sexy. It's just effective. If you write down what you want, and you write down the path to do it, and you follow the path, it's weird, but you get what you want. I know for a fact this happens because I've done it, and I do it every single day. I write down what I want. I know what I want, and I go after what I want. And every day, every waking moment, I mean, I drive people crazy because if we're out, I'll talk about business. Like, there's so many people that go, man, I hate going anywhere with Pete because all he ever talks about is business. You're right. Because until I reach where I want, all I'm focused on is business. Now, does that mean that I don't do anything else? No, man, I have fun with my family. We go out, we go to Disneyland. We're going there tomorrow. Just don't tell them. We're doing all kinds of fun things. But I can work from Disneyland. I can work from SeaWorld. I can work from Texas. I can work from Bahamas. I can work from anywhere. All I need is a cell phone and an internet connection. I'm good, right? So why not create the reality and the environment that I want? That's what I was intent on. I've done that. But the problem for some people is they're like, well, I just want to relax. Well, great. For me, relaxing is coming up with more ways to feed my family. I don't know. That's just kind of weird. I'm like that. I've created, so working to me isn't working. To me, it's having fun. Writing stories with my girls and penning them and creating them, turning them into coloring books. That's fun for me. Queen Alopecia, we've now gotten 3 pages of the coloring book are done out of 40. 3 are done, right? They're about 1 every 2 days is what I'm getting. But that's okay. I mean, it'll take a month or 2. But at the end of that, if I don't start taking action now, it's never going to happen. At least now I'm getting the pages, and I'm not doing them in order because I kind of like the fact of kind of doing off. So I've got 3, I've got 1, I've got 28, and I'm getting 20 now. So I'm excited about this. But it's about taking action. Everything doesn't have to happen right now. It's not about hitting home runs every single time you're at bat. It's about getting on base. If I get 1 page every 2 days, in 80 days, I'm going to have the book. That's 3 months. I'm okay with that. It may take a little bit of time, but you know what? In 3 months at the end, basically by the time my son's born, we'll have Queen Alopecia, the Queen Alopecia coloring book will be ready for print. And we'll be able to create those. So I'm just excited. And I'm excited because I'm taking action to create my life. And I want to share that with you because I want you guys to do the same thing. I want you to experience the same feelings. Does that mean that everything always goes right? No, it doesn't. But it does mean that I always do my best to put a positive spin on anything that happens to me. And you know what? As time goes on, it'll get better. And I'm good with that. I want my family to be around. I want the life I've created. In the beginning, money wasn't as important as time with my family. I've now created that, so now it's about creating more money. It's about creating a better life. It's about, turning my girls into millionaires prior to them being 10 years old through real estate with their efforts. That's what I want to do. Those are my new missions. Those are my new goals, to create things like that. What do you want to create? And how will it impact the world around you? That's a big question. I'd love to hear some of those answers to that. So the next thing is no more excuses. And I talked a little bit about that already too, didn't I? Look, I don't care what you call them, reasons, excuses, things. We all have them. All of us. I wanted to end my life at one point. Thank God I didn't. But the reality is all of us have challenges. And all of us go through those challenges, and they impact us all just as bad. Now, your challenge may be different than mine. In fact, I'm positive it's going to be different than mine. And you may say, well, yeah, I could deal with losing my job because I just go get another one. But I couldn't deal with what happened to me, which was losing my spouse, or it was losing my child, or it was losing my this or that. And I get it. But until you get past those excuses, until you get past my wife is mad at me, my husband is mad at me, my kids are mad at me, or this or that, or whatever it is that you're holding up on a pedestal, as a reason that is preventing you from getting where you want to go until you kick that pedestal out from under it and shatter that excuse, you're not going to get where you want to go. Because every time you get close, that is going to get in your way. It just will. Well, no, but I mean, I can't move. Okay. You can't move. I got you. Until you're able to unlock that reality or unlock that prevention. And I'm not saying everybody has to move, but I'm saying if you had an opportunity, but you had to move and you turned it down because of this or that, I'm just saying until you make that a priority, something else will always be more important. It just will. And it could be sleep. It could be, it could be a multitude of things. And you're going, oh no, I'd never be sleep until it's in the morning and you're like, oh my God, it's 6 o'clock. I don't want to get up. And then all of a sudden sleep becomes more important. Well, no, but if I didn't get enough sleep, then I wouldn't have been, hey, look, again, you don't have to tell me why you couldn't do what you needed to do. You don't have to tell me your excuse. You don't have to do any of that because I don't care. I have my own excuses that I have to push off. I certainly don't need your excuses, right? In fact, if you want some excuses, I can give you some of mine so I can get them off my plate. But I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just being realistic because nobody else does either. Our excuses, my problems, my challenges, none of you guys want to hear about that. You don't want me to, man, if every time I talk to you, it was always like, oh my gosh, you would not believe what happened to me at work again. I'll tell you, my boss is such a jack. He did da-da-da-da-da, right? And every time you see me, I say something about how much I hate this boss. Pretty soon you're like, I don't even want to go out with him anymore. It drives me crazy. All he is negative. Now, people also say that about me because they go, all he does is talk about work. But all I talk about is opportunity. So all I'm ever trying to do when I'm around people is make them money. That's it. So people that are like, oh, that's whatever, I could care less. It's like, great, you're not the right type of person for me to hang out with. Because somebody who I want to hang out with, I'm going to have fun, I'm going to do family work, and I'm going to create a future. Fun, family, future. Bam. The 3 Fs, right? The F3 system. Find, fix, flip. Fun, family, future. That's what I focus on. I hope you guys are focusing on the same thing too. But we can't focus on those with excuses, right? So, here's the thing, guys. You don't need January 1st. All you need is today. I can't even believe I'm going to be done in an hour. This is crazy. All you need is today, all right? So many times we talk about, well, you know, at the first of the month, I'll change at the first of the week, at the first of this, at the first tomorrow, this, da-da-da-da-da. You don't need tomorrow. All you need is right now. Right now. Right now can be your time to change. Right now can be the time that you change and become somebody new, that you become the person you've always wanted to be. But until you decide to make a change, until you decide that, look, I don't, again, excuses, it's about tomorrow, it's about next week, it's about next month, it's about next year. Those are all excuses. Until you decide to kick those all out and change right now, that's when you'll be successful. Because nothing else will be in your way anymore. You'll have finally made the decision that success is your priority. And that will take precedence over everything. And I get it, man. There's a lot of people that are like, yeah, but my family, and as family-oriented as you guys see me right now, in the beginning, that wasn't it. I was gone a lot. There were months that I was gone. I was home 2 days out of the month. Now, this was before my girls were born, but when I was going after this, I was gone a lot. I didn't have excuses, and I never let them get in my way. I hope that you guys can reach that affinity, that you can reach that goal, right? Success, it's about thinking an idea, try it, do it again and again and again and again and again and again, and you keep altering it as you do it, right? You keep changing your approach until you get it completely perfect. Now, there's a lot of people that say perfect isn't out there, and that's great. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep going after that. Because if my aim is perfect, if it's not out there and I come up really close, I'm going to be extremely happy with my results. It's all about, what do you want? What's your brand? What are you known for? Are you known because you give back? Are you known because you care? Or are you known because you don't have the time of day for anybody? For me, it had to be about giving back. It had to be my name. I wanted my name to be synonymous with a visionary leader, right? And I've finally changed. Now that's what I'm doing instead of the visionary pit bull, because so many people got distracted on what Pitbull meant. And for me, it was like when I would lock onto an idea, I wouldn't let it go, right? But I think visionary leader describes it better, because I want to lead people to the top of the mountain. I want to lead people with me. I want to bring people to where I'm going. I don't want to be there by myself. There's no fun being there by yourself, right? And I'm not greedy, so I don't need all the money. I just want a little bit of money off of a lot of deals, and I'll be happy. I want to create these opportunities with other people so I can share in that, right? Now, one of the cool things we have 2 different LinkedIn groups. This is one of them. It's gentryinvestmentgroup.com. If you go there, it'll take you right to the LinkedIn group, because it's like something like Gentry Distressed Real Estate. I don't know. It's a long, giant word name thing. So anyways, but if you go to Gentry Investment Group, you will find it. There's 115,000 investors in that one. The other one we have has a little over 85,000, and I can send you a link to that one if you're interested. Also, if any of you guys are brand new to real estate and you're like, man, I would just like information to move forward. I need a mentor, or I need coaching. I need help in some way, shape, or form. Awesome. I don't have the time to do that at this point, right? But what I did do was I searched far and wide for a great partner that I could strategically partner with to create opportunities like this and to create this kind of fulfillment. And I partnered with a company called Strongbrook. And if you guys are interested, you guys can go and basically reserve a 30-minute time with me to talk about what that is exactly. If you go to unlockyourreality.com, that's unlockyourreality.com, you can go ahead and sign up for a 30-minute session, and either myself or a part of my team will call you and we'll explain the whole thing and how Strongbrook works and how it can leverage you, and you can leverage off of a successful system. And this is really kind of what I have all of my new investors that don't have 40 or 50 grand to come into a deal. This is the avenue that I've created for them so that we can get them to that 30 or 40 to bring into deals and come into our turnkey system. So that's that. Dedicated Credit Repair. I will tell you this. I use them in the last 45 days, I think it is. They've removed, I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 negative items. Look, I'm very good at putting my head in the sand sometimes. And with credit, when all that stuff happened back in 2008 or 7 and 8 with some of the properties that we had, it destroyed my credit. And I was embarrassed about it. I was humiliated about it. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't like anybody running my credit. I didn't want to talk about it. Look, here's money. I can pay cash. But I understand the reality for me. If I want to get ahead farther, I need to be over an 800 score. I need to buck up and fix up my credit and get it back to where it's over an 800 again. And I can borrow money at pennies on the dollar, because when you get over an 800, you can start getting like stupid rates for interest and stuff like that, which is I want. I mean, the cheaper I can borrow money, I can redeploy that. If I can borrow money at 3.5%, 4.5%, and I can redeploy that money at 12%, are you kidding me? Right? And I mean, I've got deals all day long in Arizona that we're doing that with. So it makes sense. People with IRAs and 401ks, we're now bringing them in, utilizing Karin Hall, who's on this week's this week's magazine, because she's helping our investors get access to that money to bring it in to these deals that we're doing in Phoenix. Because again, I mean, man, we've done over 11,000 deals. We've created over $250 million in profit. This is where it's at. I want to make sure that I help as many people get to that level as possible. And here's the other thing. There's some guys that are using, this is crazy, because I know that a lot of times people have said, hey, go get a credit card. You can buy real estate on credit cards. And then you go and there's a $35,000 program that they sign you up on. I'm saying you could get credit cards at 0% and you could pay for your rehabs with the 0% card and have some kind of minimum payment of a ridiculous amount for 4 months, pay off the card, and now you've borrowed that money for zero. You could buy an entire house. If you had $60,000, $70,000 in credit cards at 0%, you could do an entire flip on credit and have it cost you zero in hard money fees. I mean, that to me is crazy how you could do that, but it's possible. The only way though that's possible is if you have stellar credit. So that's why to me, it's important to have your credit fixed, to have it looked at, to have it dialed in. If you're questioning it at all, just go to c2ccredit.com When you talk to them, tell Tiffany that I sent you, and I promise you, she's going to take care of you. They do amazing work there. And like I said, we currently are using them, my wife and I. And my wife was at a 700 score. So just so you guys know, my wife had 2 of them were a 750, and then two of them were 720s, and then one was, I think, a 670. And she's doing the credit repair because we want to get her over 800. So don't think just because maybe you have a 650 score or a 670 score that you don't need this. For me, it was all, now I wasn't a 750. I was more in the 610, 620 range. But now she's getting me to go up, and I've already jumped, I think, 20 or 30 points just because of what she's already had removed. 4 of them were collections, which is awesome, man. Are you kidding me? Those things hammer your credit. So anyways, enough of that. Let me get on. We're almost done here. Successful People Read. Force Your Dreams into Reality was the very first book that I wrote. I love that book. I still love that book. I still read that book. It's a manual, basically. It's 40 pages. It's a quick read. You can read it once a week without a problem. It will keep you updated and remembering what you need to do to consistently move forward and be successful. The next book that I just wrote, like we talked about earlier, is The Question Factor. I designed that cover myself after having 3 different people design covers for me, and all of them sucked. I couldn't even believe it. It's like nobody was listening to what I said, but that's fine. I paid over $1,000 to have that cover created, and I created that cover. So I paid other people $1,000 for me to create that cover for myself. Basically, I paid $1,000 to learn that I can design better than anybody else. So it is what it is, though, right? I mean, look, I can be upset about it or I can move on. My cover, I love that cover. And I'd love to hear what you guys think about that cover, too. So, and then the next book that I'm going to be doing is Creating Unbreakable Habits to Become an Unmistakable Success, focused all about how to break it to make it, right? How to shatter your life and put all the pieces back together again. So we're going to be talking about that. And this was obviously brought to you by Asmus Media Group, who also puts on the magazine and does all the stuff with the ebooks and the coloring book and everything else. It's a company I formed with my kids. We're all about inspiring, entertaining, and educating. Because at the end of the day, you put the why in our success. And I love that visual because now you understand why I always say that. I love it. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it. Real quick, I'll see if anybody has any questions that I have not answered. And it does not look like that. Looks like a couple of you guys wrote a few things. If you have any questions, though, let me know right now. Besides that, have a great week. Make sure that you write your goals every night before you go to bed. Post them if you want to. If you don't, hey, just know that they're there. Keep them in your pocket. And make sure you go after your dreams. I hope to see you guys on the Tuesday morning or Tuesday afternoon call. Let me rephrase that. Tuesday at 4 p.m. You can go to ourfreewebinar.com to sign up for that. Investor Quarterly is going to be coming out on Friday, the next issue. You can go to investorquarterly.com and check that out. By the way, I'd love to get feedback on that site, as I put a page now on the Gentry group and I kind of dialed it in. So I'd love to get your guys' feedback on what you think about that. And anything else that you guys have any kind of feedback, let me know. Please make sure on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram that you share that you were on this and what it did for you. I'd love to hear what spoke to you tonight, what resonated with you, and what you're going to do this week about what you heard. All right? Thank you guys so much. Have a great week. And you have a great night too, Mike. Have a great week and go make something happen. All right? Bye, you guys.
This is how we roll.